The Legend of Zelda is a series of video games that started in February 1986 here in the United States, with its first title being released as The Legend of Zelda, with its most recent title being The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for the Nintendo Switch, and also with the recent announcement of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. In this video today, we'll be reviewing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is the very first Zelda game to be released for the Nintendo Switch. Join me now as we talk a little bit about the game, give it a little bit of a score, and talk about its scoring history. All right. Well, I know that The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild has been out for over 7 years at this point. But let's face it, it was a game that was released at the launch of the system. And it turns out it's actually one of the greatest games of all time. At least in my opinion, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. Obviously, there's going to be people that might disagree on that, which is okay. I'm not perfectly fine. I'm not here to convince anybody that the game is the best game on earth, because even in my opinion, it's not. Anyways, I wanted to give a real quick brief synopsis about the game. It takes place at the end of the Zelda timeline. Plenty of videos explain that. I might end up sharing some of those down in the description box down below. 10,000 years ago, the Sheikah developed Hyrule into an advanced civilization protected by the four divine beasts, or other people like to say dungeons, and armies of guardians. And 100 years before the present time of the game, Hyrule had fallen into like a medieval state. Zelda, Link, and the four champions had fallen to the Calamity Ganon, with Link and eventually Zelda being the sole survivors. It's not known that Zelda is a survivor of the game until the end of the game. Spoiler alert. I mean, it's been 7.5 years, so you should probably already know that by now. And that's where this game picks up, with Link in the Shrine of Resurrection. He is brought back. He regains consciousness, but he's in that like an amnesia state, I guess is what I would say. And throughout the game, you kind of go and regain some of the memories from the past. And the game was planned for release in 2015 as a Wii U exclusive, but it was pushed back in 2017 when it was released for both the Nintendo Switch as a launch title, as well as being the final game released on the Nintendo Wii U. Anyways, I started playing this game around, I want to say about September 2017 when I got my first Switch system. I've had a couple since then. When I went to go purchase the system, I wasn't sure which game I wanted to get. I was new to the system. I didn't really know what was available, and at the time, I didn't even realize that the Nintendo Switch generally was still pretty brand new at this point. September and March, what is that, like 6 months apart at that point? Anyways, I wanted to get the system, and I wanted to get a game to go with it. I wanted to get something that I might be familiar with at that point. And at that point, I was familiar with the Legend of Zelda series, so that's why I got Breath of the Wild. Didn't know anything about it. And I kind of went into it with a fresh, clean slate. I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it, and so I felt like it would be a good idea to start playing this game. Usually when it comes to games like this, I like to take my time. I don't like to rush it. I'll play it for like 20 minutes here, another half hour there, 10, 15 minutes here and there. And I realized that it is possible, like in this game, it is possible for you to start the game and then end the game, beat the game relatively quickly, because let's face it, the Calamity Ganon at the end of the game, Ganondorf at the end of the game, he's very easy to beat in this game. But like it was generally, I felt like this was a great game. Some of the key changes from Breath of the Wild from a traditional, something that differentiated Breath of the Wild from the rest of the Zelda series is the fact that it was the very first like open world game in the Legend of Zelda series, and there was no set way to complete the game. Like there was no dungeons you had to beat, no particular order of dungeons you had to beat in order to beat the game. And many people complained about the game being too easy, which is why I'm assuming that with the DLC they released a master mode for the game, which made it more difficult to beat. still not bad. Still a great game to play. Obviously, there was also the breakable weapons and shields. I actually kind of enjoyed this. At first, I struggled to find the weapons that didn't break so easily. I would always get like sticks or branches and stuff like that, all of which pretty much made it easy. It was very easy to break. Um, Anyways, once I got the hang of it, I feel like my experience improved from that point on. When like I when I first started playing this game, I missed a lot of the structure of a traditional Zelda game, like where you couldn't proceed unless you did something. Like you would like for like an Ocarina of Time, you would go to like the forest temple, complete that, and then you would go to like the water temple, fire temple. You had order. I missed that at first, but once I started getting the hang of things in Breath of the Wild, it wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. Um, did I complete the game 100%? I did not. I'm not what you would say. I'm not a completionist. I don't have time to go around and do it 100%, or 100% of the game. I like to take my time, and I want to be able to feel like I'm enjoying the game. I don't have time, like I said, because I'm a full time truck driver, so I don't have all the time in the world. I'm gone most of the time, and I'm on the road working. I have my Switch with me, but when I park for the night at a gas station, I don't spend a whole lot of time playing video games. I usually park long enough to where I can sit down, eat dinner, maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos. I'll FaceTime with my wife and kids, just so I can keep going with them, or keep my relationship with them going. Uh, as for the scores of the game, Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Game Informer gave it a 10 out of 10, and GameSpot gave it a 10 out of 10. Me personally, before Tears of the Kingdom was released, I would have given this game like a 9.4 or 9.5. But since it released, I'd say I would rate this game more like a 9.0, 9.1, and drop just a little bit because I feel like Tears of the Kingdom had improved some of the stuff in this game. And it was awesome. I mean, I can't complain. I can't say that it was a bad experience. Something that I would have given that would have made it better, in my opinion, is maybe one more DLC pack would have been nice. Not to add items or side quests to story, but rather add a store, like a side story, like a little more about what Zelda and Link did after the defeat of Calamity Ganon. And then obviously, I want less rain in this game. It was rated for the majority of my playthrough originally. Um, Anyways, those are some things. I know that Tears of the Kingdom was originally intended to be DLC for Breath of the Wild, but there was just too much, so they made a whole entire game out of it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Thank you very much for watching. And we have come to the end of this video just like that. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends or other people who you think might enjoy this kind of content. I'm looking forward to making many more videos like this. And don't forget to click on one of these other suggested videos from the channel just to keep it going. Thanks for your time today, guys.